Hey guys, so for today's video, I created 3 eye looks using one eyeshadow quad. I used the new Caramel Apple quad from Sigma. Sigma did just come out with 6 new eyeshadow quads, and I did a video earlier this week where I went through all of them and I did swatches and comparisons to the other Sigma palette. I did try to use all 4 shades in a different kind of way for each look. The first look is a little bit softer, the second look focuses a little bit more on the shimmery green shadow, and this third look is kind of more of a matte smoky eye. So if you want to see how I got these 3 eyeshadow looks, go and keep on watching. Let's get started with the first look. I'm going to take the shade Salted Caramel on a Sigma E25, and I'm going to blend that throughout my entire outer crease. Picking up a little more shadow, and that's going on the very outer part of my lid, and I'm connecting that into the outer crease. And then once I have less product on my brush, I am blending into the inner crease right in here. Now on the same brush, I'm going to pick up Green Apple on the flat side. So I have it just like that on the brush, and I'm using a fluffy brush to apply this because I just want a soft wash of color. And that's going to go on my entire eyelid. If you were to use either a packing brush or even your finger to apply this, you would get a much more pigmented application. But I do want this look to be pretty wearable. Now once most of the pigment is off my brush, I'm going to blend it up into my crease to connect it with the brown shade. For the lower lash line, I'm going to take more Salted Caramel on a Sigma E30. That's going to go along my entire lower lash line. Now I'm going to take a Sigma E33 in the shade Buttery, and that's going to go right in my inner corner. And I am going to bring a little bit of the shade onto the inner part of my lid, just to kind of brighten this up. And then also bringing Buttery right under my brow. Now you could totally stop here with the look if you want it to be a little bit softer, but I am going to deepen things up. On that same E25 I was using, I'm going to take the tiniest bit of tart on the tip of the brush. So just a little bit on the tip of the brush like that. I'm just going to lightly stamp this on the very outer part of my lid, just to add a little bit more depth. And you can also add this shade to the very outer part of the lower lash line. And then once most of the product is off your brush, I'm just going to do little circular motions to blend it out. Alright, I went ahead and popped on my mascara and lashes. For my lashes, I'm wearing the Bright Lashes Half Lash in Flutter. And here's the first look finished. Let's get started with the second look. I'm going to take a Sigma E54 in the shade Green Apple, and this time I am going to wet my brush. I want the shade to be really pigmented, which is why I'm going in with a packing brush. It's going to go on my entire eyelid. I am doing a couple layers of the shade to make sure it's nice and pigmented. Now I'm going to take a clean Sigma E27, and I'm just going to start to blend around the edges of the green shade to soften it out a little bit. The shade is actually blending out really nicely on its own. Like, I haven't even placed a shade in my crease yet, but I feel like it's looking pretty good. I'm picking up more Green Apple on the tip of my E54, and that's going to go across my entire lower lash line. And then again, I'm taking my E27 and I'm softly blending that out. Now I'm going to take a little angled brush. This is a Sigma E65 in the shade Tart, and I'm going to stamp that across my top lash line and my lower lash line. gonna make a little wing with this Tarte shade. Just something small like that. Again, I'm gonna pick up Buttery on my E33, and we're highlighting. I went ahead and popped on mascara and lashes, and again, I'm wearing the Bright Lashes in Flutter. I'm super happy with how this look turned out, and I'm very impressed with how the caramel apple shade blended out. I didn't need to use any kind of brown transition shade to blend it out. And by comparing these two looks side by side, I hope you see what I mean. You pack on the green with either your finger or a packing brush, it's so much more impactful, whereas on this side, I just did a soft wash of it with the fluffy brush. All right, let's get started with look number 3. I'm gonna start with Tarte on a Sigma E28, and I'm gonna pack this shade on my entire eyelid. One of my favorite things about this E28 brush is that it does a really great job at packing on shadow, but because it's kind of fluffy, you can also use the edges to blend out the shadow. I'm dipping back into the shade, and I'm going to do another layer of that. I just want to point out that I have zero fallout with this shade. I was pretty nervous that I might get some, but so far so good. So after I pack on the eyeshadow and have less product on my brush, I am bringing my brush up towards my crease and kind of wiggling the shadow back and forth to start to blend it out. Now I'm going to pick up Green Apple on the same brush, and I want to see what this looks like in my crease because I liked it in my crease on the last look. So this is kind of different. Like I put a matte shade all over my lid, but a shimmery shade in my crease. You know, there's no rules to makeup. Okay, I actually feel like this is looking really good. I'm super happy so far. Now I'm gonna go back to Tarte on my Sigma E30. I'm gonna blend that along the entire lower lash line. I am loving these green shades on my eyes right now. I am going to take a tiny bit of Salted Caramel on my E28, and I'm just taking a little bit, and I'm just going to press that into my upper crease right here. The blend was looking pretty good, but I thought why not add this? And same thing with the other looks. I'm going to go in with Buttery, and again going in the inner corner. Alright, mascara and lashes are on, and again, I'm wearing the same lash Flutter. I just like to wear the same lash for these kind of videos just to keep it nice and simple for you. And here's the final look for look number 3. I went ahead and did a full face for this final look, and here's what it looks like. I am loving this kind of matte forest green smoky eye. I did use a little bit of that caramel apple shade, but I feel like you don't really see the shimmer of it in the crease, but I just love the colors of this look so much. So for my lips, I went ahead and blanked them out with my foundation brush, and then I popped on my Charlotte Tilbury lip liner in Iconic Nude with the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb and Hot Chocolate on top. I know this kind of looks like a scary brown gloss color, but when it's on top of kind of a nude blanked out lip, it looks really pretty. I had so much fun creating all of these looks today. I love when I just get to sit down and just play with eyeshadow and just do looks all day. I did want to mention that all of the techniques I did today can be used with pretty much any of the other eyeshadow quads that Sigma came out with, but if there is another quad you want to see this type of video with, please let me know. I would be happy to do it. I'm gonna link everything I used today down below in the description box as usual, and don't forget my code AngelaBright can save you some money at Sigma. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.